presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Nothing better than a little day baseball. A weekday matinee here. The Brewers and the Cardinals. Good crowd filing in to see this one. It is game 2 of this series. It is the final game of this series as well, as the Brewers will welcome in the Washington Nationals beginning tomorrow. Right now in the National League Central, the Brewers lost a game yesterday, so they are 3.5 back, 4 in the loss column. The Cardinals are 5 back. In the wild card race, the Brewers 4 back of the Colorado Rockies. And hi everybody, we welcome you from Miller Park. It is a gorgeous day for baseball. Great to have you with us today. Brian Anderson here along with Bill Schroeder. We'll check in with Sophia Minard in just a moment. What a pitching matchup we have today. Carlos Martinez for the St. Louis Cardinals, Chase Anderson for the Brewers, and Rock Chase coming back his 3rd start after returning from the DL.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. He's given up only 3 earned runs in 2 starts, but really hasn't been able to get too deep into ball games. So very similar styles with these guys. Maybe a little bit of velocity difference, but fastball, changeup, you're going to see a lot of these. Carlos Martinez just behind Jimmy Nelson and the strikeout lead in the National League, 175 of them. This guy has got no hit stuff just about every time he comes out. He's certainly been very tough on the Brewers. Chase Anderson again, he hasn't been able to pitch too deep into games. They've been keeping an eye on his pitch count. I would imagine they're going to let him go today. He's winless against the Cardinals, although he's pitched pretty well. And since May 27th, I know there's a lot of time in between starts, a 157 earned run average, one of the best in the business before he was hurt. The Brewers need this one here today.
He missed 7 weeks with an oblique injury, his 3rd start since coming back. Let's check in with Sophia Minard with more on Chase Anderson returning to Miller Park here tonight.
Yeah, that's right, B.A. and Rock, and I think Anderson will admit he's still trying to shake off some of the rust and get back into the rhythm here after the 7 weeks that he missed on the disabled list with that left oblique strain. But a lot of good for Anderson to build off of what he was able to do in his 2 starts, 5 innings in each of those outings against the Rockies and the Dodgers, and as Rock said, just 3 earned runs. But for Anderson, he prides himself on going deep into games. It's been a focus of his all season long. He wants to be more efficient here in his outing against the Cardinals.
The first one was a little bit better than the last one just because I got my pitch count up there late against the Dodgers. But I think the biggest thing is just trying to get the innings be more efficient through the innings and try to get guys out quicker because that kills your pitch count. And, for the most part of the season, I've done better of getting deeper in games. That's kind of been my main goal because I think that's a big key. And you see guys feeding off that. And Jimmy's done well this year. Zach and just everybody's pitching really good right now. So I think just trying to get the command a little bit more sharp and then pitch a little bit deeper in the games. But overall, pretty good.
It was a tough loss for the Brewers last night and a painful one for a pair of Brewers players. We'll get updates on Travis Shaw, Manny Pino, and we come back if they're in or out of the lineup here for Game 2 against the Cardinals.
Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
The Brewers getting ready for first pitch here, game 2 between the Brewers and the Cardinals. The Brewers took the loss last night, trying to even the series here this afternoon as we get a pitching matchup between Carlos Martinez and Chase Anderson, making his first start here at home since coming off the disabled list. And for the Brewers last night, it was a painful loss in that they lost two of their more consistent presences in the lineup, both Manny Pena and Travis Shaw exiting the game last night with injuries. But the good news, manager Craig Counsell saying that both are considered day-to-day and likely available off the bench today if needed. So we'll start with Travis Shaw. He left the game last night in the 6th because of a sore right foot that's been bugging him for the last few weeks, most recently after fouling a ball off of his foot Wednesday afternoon in San Francisco. But again, Shaw likely available off the bench. And for catcher Manny Pena, this is what happened in the 4th inning, trying to block a ball behind the plate. You see him as he gets up, he winces with some soreness in his right hip flexor. Said he just felt it tweak there as he was diving to block the ball. But again, Pena saying not too concerned about the injury. He will likely be available off the bench, both Shaw and Pena considered day-to-day. So good news for the Brewers. They're sending Chase Anderson to the mound. He has pitched like an ace before the injury and in 2 strong starts since returning from the disabled list. We've got first pitch coming up next here at Miller Park.
In their home whites behind right-hander Chase Anderson, the man they call Texas. And he'll try to get the Brewers back to winning ways. Today's game on Fox Sports Wisconsin presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Beautiful day for baseball in Milwaukee, 78 degrees, blue skies up above. Great to have you with us this afternoon. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minute. Here's how the Cardinals line up today. A lineup turned in by Mike Matheny. Matt Carpenter leads off. Pham, then DeYoung, same as yesterday. In the middle goes Fowler, Molina, and Wong. Yadier Molina's back in there this afternoon. And then Voit plays first base with Grichuk in right. And the pitcher is Carlos Martinez. That's the lineup that will face Chase Anderson for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, his numbers have been pretty good his first 2 starts since coming off the disabled list. He took a loss his last time out, although pitched pretty well. 5 innings, 2 runs against the Dodgers. He needed 96 pitches to get through those 5 innings.
First pitch up and away, and off we go at Miller Park this afternoon. Mike Matheny and the Cardinals won yesterday. It was a blowout game, one of the few the Brewers have had this season. It was an ugly mess is what it was. So the Brewers are more than happy to put that one away and turn it around quickly and play this afternoon at Miller Park. It's just a quick 2-game series with the Cardinals. This is the second game of a homestand as well. The front-running Washington Nationals out of the National League East will be here tomorrow night. Looks like Chase got something in his eye right before he delivered that pitch.
Yeah, the velocity for Chase has been pretty good in his first 2 starts back. 95 miles an hour. The battle of the fastball changeups today. Carlos Martinez and Chase Anderson.
Yeah, Martinez with that electric fastball. He'll be riding that fastball in the upper 90s today. And Anderson puts a fastball by Carpenter. It's 3-2 now. Yesterday, Carpenter was 1 for 4, hit a 2-run home run. Cardinals won the game 10-2. Had 11 hits in the game yesterday. St. Louis had 9 walks as an offense. As Anderson misses up and away, and Carpenter draws the walk.
Well, let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. You got some changes, a bunch of them actually. You got Hernan Perez out in center field. Sogard VR up the middle. Arcia sits this one out. You got Neil Walker at third base. His second start as a third baseman with the Brewers. Stephen Vogt and Eric Thames round out the infield.
Sophia gave you the report if you're just joining us on 2 hobbled players, Travis Shaw and Manny Pena, both day-to-day, not thought to be serious injuries. Pena left yesterday's game with a hip injury, and Travis Shaw's fouled a few pitches off his foot. His legs are a little banged up as well, so he gets the day off as well. So that puts Neil Walker over at third base. Walker started his very first game as a Brewer at third base just a few weeks back. He's comfortable there. Walker started at first base in Los Angeles on Sunday, so he's played third, first, and second for Milwaukee. One ball, one strike on Eric. Check it on Tommy Pham, and he takes a ball.
That's an important pitch right there for Anderson. That fastball on the inside corner. He's able to find that corner. Usually opens up everything the off speed away.
First home start for Chase Anderson since coming back from the DL. I'm sure there are some butterflies flowing for him. There's a little cutter that misses inside. And it's 3 balls and a strike. He's not missing by much, but the Cardinals aren't biting. They were very patient yesterday, and Craig Counsell's pitching staff delivering 9 walks in the game yesterday. Garza had 5 of them in 3 1/3. Pham turns on one, sends it way out of here, and a 2-run home run in the first inning has the Cardinals on the board quickly.
And Chase has been falling behind, fell behind Carpenter, fell behind Tommy Pham, and Brewers are going to have to be playing from behind once again.
This guy's having a great year. Tommy Pham with his 18th home run of the season. Kept that 300 batting average intact, and he did not miss that fastball.
Yep, up and in. It was a 3-1 pitch, and Tommy Pham able to pull the hands in and rip it out of here. A no doubter to left.
10 runs yesterday, already 2 on the board before there is an out here this afternoon. And now Paul DeYoung takes ball 1. Cardinals made a big trade today. They traded Mike Leake to the Mariners. And if you think that is a signal that the Cardinals are giving up on this pennant race, you would be incorrect. That is a move to clear some space for up and coming pitchers that they feel can help them down the stretch. Mike Leake was not pitching well for St. Louis, and even though he had a no trade clause, obviously he was looking to move on himself. Cardinals traded Leake to the Mariners, and they're picking up a big part of the tab on that as well.
You see the numbers not all that tragic. I mean, you're talking about a .421 earned run average in 26 starts, and 7-12 record, and Well, he's going to be pitching for Seattle.
They get a minor league shortstop in return and some money to spend in the international pool, which is an important piece to have these days when you go on the international shopping list. And there also reports are that the Cardinals are picking up $17 million of the $55 million that remain on the contract. DeYoung pops it up. Sogard is back there in the grass. He'll make the catch for the first out of the game for Chase Anderson. Umpiring crew in place. Lance Barksdale calls the balls and strikes. On the bases, Dan Iasonia, Brian Gorman, and Trip Gibson. Brian Gorman is the crew chief. He's out at second base this afternoon. Two runs are in, one man out. Here's Dexter Fowler now, the switch hitting center fielder. This Cardinal trade interesting on a number of levels. Reading some of the St. Louis media outlets, quotes from Lance Lynn, who was pretty critical of the trade, trying to understand why they would trade a pitcher who gives you 200 innings while you're in a pennant race. So there's a little bit of unrest with the Cardinals is probably the best way to put it. And more than I can ever remember, there is a chattering going on inside the Cardinal family that you go back to Matheny and Molina, and these are things we have never really heard from the St. Louis Cardinals in the past. So these are all new developments, and got players especially are willing to speak their mind. Yeah,
not a good sign, but you know, the Cardinals are in kind of a different position than they've been in a while. They've been kind of on the outside looking in. I mean, it's been an organization that always seems to be in the mix. Not to say that they're not right now, but yeah, all that stuff, whether it was going on, you never knew it because they kept it very quiet behind closed doors. But that kind of has changed this year a little bit, kind of surprising.
Yeah, essentially, if you're Lance Lynn and you're going to the media and asking these questions, why would we trade a pitcher when we're in a pennant race that gives you this many innings? And Lance Lynn also said, we're looking at our season this year and we're taking away players, we're not adding players. Those are all comments that are questioning front office moves that are being made. It's very surprising to read this.
Sounds like Lance Lynn wants to be gone. I mean, those are the kind of things you say when you're not happy where you're at.
I agree with you. All that being said, the Cardinals are over 500 and just 5 games back of the Cubs to start play today, right behind the Brewers in the division race. They look like a pretty loose bunch as we arrived at the ballpark today. They're all on the top rail. They've got 2 runs in. Had a big offensive performance yesterday. 1-2 the count on Fowler. And that one misses inside.
Man, he's having a tough pitch with that here in the first inning. He needs that fastball inside. I mean, that's been a big pitch for him all year. Hitters start looking away for the off-speed stuff. He's able to catch that inside corner. Hasn't found it yet.
A swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup. A dandy.
Yep, that's a good one.
Second out of the inning for Chase. First strikeout.
Real good arm action on that pitch. Looks like a fastball out of his hand, but it chokes off the speed with the grip, and you know, Fowler pulls his head trying to pull it.
Well, Anderson was rolling along, emerging as the Brewers' ace earlier this season, and then at the plate had a swing that resulted in an oblique injury, and he was on the DL for 7 weeks. And a full, difficult, lonely rehab for Anderson to get back. Now he's back right in the throes of a pennant race, and you're trying to find that magic again. But there is a major restart that has to happen, and this is his 3rd game back. And Anderson wants results. He's pitched pretty well the first 2 times back. First start was in Colorado, and they've been monitoring this pitch count closely with him, so only 5 innings. Short starts for Chase Anderson.
Yeah, first start back against the Rockies, 73 pitches. Last time against the Dodgers, 5 innings again, 96 pitches. A win and a loss for Anderson in those 2 starts.
The Brewers lost that Dodger game 3-1. 5 innings, 2 runs for Chase. There's a little curveball, slow roller. Anderson's got time, and he fires a strike to end the inning. Bad start, good rally though. 2 runs in on a 2-run homer. but then Chase retires the next 3, and we're headed to the bottom of the first. And a 2-run home run in the first inning has the Redbirds on the board. 2-run homer off Chase Anderson. Now the Brewers coming up, and the lineup looks a little different today. Eric Sogard will be in the leadoff spot, then Thames, followed by Braun. In the middle it goes Walker, Santana, and Vogt, with VR getting the start at second. Perez plays center field. Anderson rounds out the Potawatomi Brewers starting lineup that will match up against one of the elite right-handers in the game, Carlos Martinez.
Yeah, 5th season for the Cardinals, a 10-9 record, a great .348 earned run average. He's currently 5th in the league in strikeouts, 4th in innings pitched. I mean, he's having a terrific season, making career start number 12 against Milwaukee. Let's check out the Cardinals defense. You got Pham, Fowler, and Grichuk in the outfield. Carpenter, DeYoung, Wong, Voigt from 3rd to 1st, and Yadier Molina behind home plate. Molina, the only change from last night.
Sogard leads off. First pitch from Martinez. A cruising speed fastball in there at 90 miles an hour for strike 1. Eric Sogard rolls one to second base. Wong is there, and out number 1. Hey, by the way, today's game is on AFN, the American Forces Network, now in its 75th year broadcasting to American military personnel overseas in more than 170 countries and naval ships at sea. Welcome to those watching today. Thanks for being there with us, and thank you for your service. Eric Thames aggressively hacking, and he fouls it away.
Yeah, the history with Martinez, at least this year, if you don't get him in the first inning, it's very difficult. He's given up 19 first inning runs this year. Earned run average over 6 in the first inning, and then things get a lot better for him as the game goes on.
A big difference in ERA first inning to the rest of the game. If he settles in, he can be as good as there is. Rock made the mention as we hit the air today. He brings no hit stuff to the table every time out. And you'll see the velocity range for Martinez go anywhere from 90 up to 99. I mean, he can vary his speeds. It's all about how he feels, and he's trying to find the sweet spot for velocity. There's a constant conversation going on between he and Molina as well. And he has a great changeup, which he just threw to Thames right there.
Yeah, that was it right there. Good movement on it, going away from lefties. He will throw at the right-handers, but you know, that fastball slider changeup combination has been a good one for him.
Little slider misses low. Eric Thames homered yesterday. He now leads the club by himself once again. 28th home run of the season. One of the few bright spots offensively. And there's a backdoor slider this time. Thames is rung up. 2 gone now. First strikeout for Martinez.
Yeah, when he's throwing well, he works quickly. You might want to try and slow him down a little bit, but yeah, he and Molina have worked well for a while now. This is Martinez's 5th year.
Molina was a late scratch from the lineup yesterday. Back in there this afternoon. He is the big brother in this relationship. Braun on the first pitch. Center field for Fowler, almost in his tracks. And a 10-pitch inning for Carlos Martinez to get his afternoon started. 2-0 St. Louis. We head to the second.
Here at Miller Park. It's a 2-0 lead for the Cardinals here in the second inning. And our scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. Manager Craig Counsell announcing that Brandon Woodruff would be coming up and rejoining the rotation for Saturday's start against the Nationals. Remember that Woodruff had made 3 starts in place of Chase Anderson, and Anderson was activated on the road trip. Woodruff was sent back down to AAA Colorado Springs, but he was sent with the message from Craig Counsell and General Manager David Stearns that you have a very important role here to play for this team in September. So for Woodruff, it was 3 starts for him against Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and Colorado. Went 1-1 and just a 1.62 earned run average. So he last through a simulated game Monday night in Biloxi. They were hoping to have him start the game there, but he'll likely rejoin the team Friday when rosters expand.
All right, thanks a lot, Sophia. Good update. Brewers are going to go with Woodruff on Saturday and then Garza Sunday in the finale of the series against Washington.
An aggressive young pitcher, Brandon Woodruff. I mean, his first start in Tampa. Got himself into trouble a couple of times, able to get out of it, showed a lot of poise out there in the mound. Good to get him back into the rotation.
Colton Wong in a 1-2 count here to start this second inning. Now you might remember that Woodruff was injured prior to what was going to be his first big league start. That was in St. Louis when he injured the hamstring in pregame warmups and then had the long rehab to come back, and he is going to be a good one. There's a swing and a miss. Anderson strikes out Wong. Second punch out, 4 in a row now since the home run to Pham.
Well, this is one of his bread and butter pitches. That curveball, well located down and away. And you see where Vogt sets up, pretty much down the middle, but a low target. And Colton Wong, not even close.
See a curveball. Most hitters are expecting that to come back in toward the hitting zone. That one dropped straight down. Luke Voigt swings at the first pitch. A high pop up, shallow center field. Perez is there to make the catch.
Hey, there's still time to earn free Brewers tickets simply by filling up your car with gas. Fans who complete A BP Come On Back card by making 7 purchases of 8 or more gallons of gas will earn a free Brewers Terrace Reserve ticket. For details, call 414-902-4000.
Brewers have 14 home games remaining after today. Running out of schedule. 30 games left in the schedule, including today. Brewers are 68 and 64. 4 games back in the loss column to the Cubs. 3.5 overall. Grichuk takes a strike. 0-2 the count on Randall Grichuk, 8th place hitter.
Yeah, bottom line, you get hot, you never know what's going to happen. So meaningful games in September, and it's good that they're playing well.
Boy, Anderson comes back quickly. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of Ks. Command issues in the first inning. He is locked in since 6 in a row since that 2-run homer. Brewers are coming up. First inning 2-run homer. Here we go to the bottom of the second. And Carlos Martinez looking at lowest career ERA against the Brewers. He is the man at the top of the list. 1.99 earned run average in his career against Milwaukee. Now the Brewers have beaten Martinez as well. He has 5 wins and 3 losses in 22 career games against the Brewers. A number of those early in his career were out of the bullpen. This will be his 12th start against the Brewers overall.
Yeah, Brewers have beat him twice this year alone. And 3 starts this year. He's 1-2. But again, you get him early or you might not get him at all.
Neil Walker leads off here in the second inning. The Brewers cleanup hitter today. Travis Shaw is out, getting a breather. Two balls and a strike. And Walker with a swing and a miss. Changeup. That was the pitch that gave Walker fits yesterday. Neil was 0 for 3 in yesterday's game, struck out 3 times. And a backdoor breaking ball hits the edge. He's got good range on that pitch so far today. That's 2 strikeouts for Martinez, both on the backdoor slider.
Yeah, the Brewers have seen a couple of pretty good pitchers for the Cardinals with changeups. There's another backdoor slider right there. Luke Weaver had a really good changeup yesterday. Well, you're going to see a bunch of them from Carlos Martinez today.
He is painting early, working the edges with great stuff. Santana takes a ball. Well, yesterday Domingo had a couple of hits. And he'll slap one to right field this afternoon. First hit of the ball game for Milwaukee. clean single to right center for Domingo Santana.
Oh, he's got quick hands, does he not? Nice and easy, not a lot of movement with the body. Throws the head of the bat at the baseball and rips that one into right field.
Santana's on a nice little run at the plate. He's 8 for his last 17. And a very balanced straight chart. Look at that, Rock. That's about as feng shui as you can get right there.
Well, it's you know, when you have splits like that, it's tough to pitch to him. He doesn't have really any real tendencies, and it's tough to really put the big shift on.
Stephen Vogt with a runner at first. Vogt getting the start. He played a good portion of the game yesterday after Pena was injured. Vogt got 3 at-bats in yesterday's game, and now he dumps one into right center. Santana's going to turn and head to third base. Vogt with a single. First and third with 1 out for the Brewers in the second.
Well, when Martinez makes a mistake, you better take advantage of it. There's a fastball that had a lot of the plate. It was up. Well, Stephen Vogt's been swinging the bat well since he's come over. Coming off the DL and providing Craig Counts another left-handed bat in that lineup. That's important against a guy like Martinez. The Brewers today have 5 guys hitting left-handed, including 2 switch hitters.
Now, Vogt had 5 hits on the road trip. He was 5 for 15. Had a hit yesterday, comes up with a base hit to start his ball game today, and now VR comes up. First and third, 1 away. VR trying to put the Brewers on the board. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it back. Jonathan's been racking up some hits as well. 6 hits his last 15 at-bats. Been able to find some holes here recently, and maybe the confidence rising as the hits come. VR's another guy that didn't start yesterday but got 3 at-bats. He was 2 for 3 in yesterday's game. Brewers would love to see VR, who has been in a colossal struggle most of the year. Love to see him get hot down the stretch. This is a bat that can play big in a pennant race.
Yeah, give the Brewers something to think about in the offseason, right? I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
1-1 pitch, and he's late on a fastball at 96.
Never too late to get hot. I mean, and if you're Jonathan VR, you can't do anything about what's happened in the past. You just got to look forward and hopefully able to finish strong.
Batting average sitting at 230. OPS at 637. Those are both very low numbers compared to what he did last season. Tapper back to the mound, goes to second. Oh, Martinez throws it away. Into center field it goes. Santana scores. Vogt on his way to third. And the Brewers get a gift wrap present right there from Martinez.
Probably wouldn't have been a double play ball. They would have had the force out at second. A run's going to score. They're going to credit an RBI to VR. Santana takes off on the throw to second base. Well, usually a fairly good fielding position pitcher, but that one not even close. So didn't have a grip on it. And Stephen Vogt able to cruise into third base. Wow.
That is a big break. Brewers committed 3 errors yesterday and couldn't recover. Now the Cardinals give the Brewers one. Let's see if Perez can take advantage as Martinez spins a strike in there. Perez didn't like that call, but that was clearly inside the zone. And Carlos Martinez has found a spot on that inside corner with his breaking ball, not just his slider but his curveball too. Perez tries to bunt, bunts right through it.
Change up. I mean, tough to bunt that pitch. Change the velocity and the fact that it's sinking as it gets to home plate. So curveball change up. He starts out Perez.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. Got the pitcher coming up next. This is a key at bat for the Brewers here with Perez batting 8th. And he pulls one through, a base hit. In to score is Vogt. We're all tied at 2. A 2-strike single with an RBI for Hernan Perez.
Yep, an 0-2 pitch, and he hung it. He hung the slider. He threw him just about everything. Yeah, the curveball, the changeup, the slider, everything but the fastball. There's a slider that stays up out over the plate. And Hernan able to make contact, shorten it up a little bit just to put the ball in play, and gets himself an RBI. So Carlos Martinez pays for the throwing error.
2 costly mistakes, the throwing error and an 0-2 hanger. And that brought a visit from Derek Lilliquist, the Cardinal pitching coach.
Get him early. That's what the booklet is on this guy. He's having a rough second inning after a 3-up, 3-down first.
So Anderson will bat now with 1 out and runners at first and second. And Anderson likely up there bunting. Try to advance the runners for Sogard. Chase does handle the bat pretty well, though. You never know. They might let him swing away. He does have 5 hits this year. Yo, look out. Wow, that's a foul ball, but that was headed right for the head of Chase Anderson. That's got to get your heart going a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. Squaring around and pitch up and in. He did a good job putting a bat on it. Look out, man.
I'll tell you what. I don't think that would have hit him, but that would have.
Well, he was leaning into it, trying to bunt. I mean, enough to wake you up a little bit.
It was close enough to hear the hiss. Let's put it that way. Like a viper coming in there. Anderson was injured while at the plate and shows bunt early here. Long pause by Martinez, and Chase pops it foul and out of play. 0-2 the count.
That first pitch is going to keep him a little light in the box. He's going to be really planting those feet and to keep you loose.
Martinez, an all-star this season. Brewers answer a 2-run first with 2 here in the second, looking for more. And Chase bunts it foul. That'll be a strikeout. Be the 3rd strikeout for Martinez. And the 2nd out of the inning.
I really can't blame Anderson not being all that comfortable in the box trying to drop that bunt down after that first pitch.
Took a little motivation away from him. I would bet.
Didn't really stick his nose in there like he did the first time.
So 2 men are out. Back to the top of the order. Here is Sogard. 2 runs in for the Brewers on 3 hits. And a very costly error by Martinez. Sogard takes a ball. Very comfortable in the leadoff spot is Sogard. He's got a high on-base percentage with the Brewers this season. Nearly at 400. He's at 397 now. Aren't many contending teams with this much of a revolving door at the top of their order. Sometimes it's Thames, sometimes VR. Sogard's been up there. We even saw Hernan Perez hit leadoff on the road trip.
Yeah, just trying to find somebody that's going to be consistent enough to stay in there every day. You don't want that many guys trying to be your leadoff hitter. That's got to be a pretty consistent thing. Of course, you know, every team seems to be struggling with that. A lot of teams anyway.
Now you got Thames due next. He's been in that leadoff spot a little bit. There's been 8 different leadoff hitters for the Brewers this season. There's a strike, and it's 3-1 to Sogard. VR at second, Perez at first. The Brewers are very fast on the bases right now. If Sogard can find a gap or hit one down the line, it would score 2. They'll be off with the crack of the bat as well. 3-1 pitch. Sogard lines one to right field, base hit. And here comes VR. Here comes a throw from Grichuk. And VR's in. All runners advance. Brewers take the lead 3-2. Eric Sogard delivers with an RBI single.
Yeah, Brewers with now 2 hits with a man in scoring position. That's a great sign. I know Craig Counsell happy about that. Scoring 3 runs without the benefit of a home run. Middle in on a 3-1 pitch, and Sogard able to hit it hard into right. The Brewers had the right guy at second base. Pretty good throw in there from Grichuk. But VR just too fast. No chance to get him at home.
And with the throw to the plate, Sogard advances to second. So it's second and third for Eric Thames now. 3 runs are in the inning on 4 hits. All singles. Very uncharacteristic of this Brewers team. A high strikeout, high home run hitting team. But they are turning the line over here today very well. Thames has homered off Martinez this season. Matter of fact, Martinez lost a game on April 20th against the Brewers, and all 5 runs came on 2 homers. Travis Shaw hit a 3-run shot. Eric Thames hit a 2-run home run. He's down 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now Martinez this year at Miller Park, he's 0-2, earned run average over 7. So he has struggled in Milwaukee this year.
Count is even at 2-2 now. Thames with 28 homers. Hit an opposite field home run yesterday to put the Brewers on the board. So close at that time. It was 3-1. Cardinals would put the hammer down after that, though. They won the game 10-2. Second and third, 2 outs, and the 2-2 swung on and missed. Inning is over. A strikeout for Martinez, but the Brewers put 3 on the board. Singles for the Brewers. Starts with Santana, then Vogt. Costly error. Hernan Perez delivers with 2 strikes, and then Sogard caps it off. 3-2 Milwaukee.
They've taken a 3-2 lead over the Cardinals, joined now by some of the Brewers' wives. We'll start first with Casey Sogard and, of course, the famous Sadie Sogard. She's the best. But the Brewers' wives are doing a great fundraiser here over the weekend. Coming up Saturday, September 2nd, they're going to be doing a pink bag event, $40. And Casey, just explain why the wives want to get behind the relief and recovery efforts for Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, I think it's something that obviously we all want to be a part of. It's kind of hard, you know, you feel distant, but if we can do something to help in any way, we're happy to do it. So we hope you can all come out, $40 a bag, and help out the people of Houston right now.
And Sadie, how do you want the people to help?
Say your line.
Please get these pink bags.
So Sadie wants you to buy the pink bags. Again, those are $40 here. The wives will be selling them along the concourse here all Saturday afternoon. Those are available until they're sold out, and those will all go to the Hurricane Harvey efforts. And Melissa, your husband Jimmy did a really creative thing with the bowling ball and how he wants to help out with an online auction.
Yeah, so this tragedy actually really hit home for us because we live in Houston in the off season. So Jimmy wanted to do his part, and he actually won a bowling ball signed by the whole Brewers bullpen at the bowling night earlier this season. So now we're going to do an online auction from September 11th to the 24th, and all the proceeds will go to the Red Cross.
Yeah, so all of the proceeds from Jimmy Nelson's bowling ball, again, that'll be an online auction, will go to the American Red Cross. And Cecilia, just BCF in general is really throwing their arms around this cause as well with the 50-50 raffle.
We are. We know how important it is, and throughout the whole Washington National Series, we'll be providing the proceeds from our 50-50 raffle. So we're hoping to top over $100,000 in contributions for this challenging initiative.
All right, well, the Brewers are certainly doing their part here. BA and Rock, again, the Brewers Wives event. Sadie will be selling, those are $40 bags, autographed balls, available until they're sold out on Saturday, and support Jimmy Nelson's online auction as well.
I think you should sell pictures with Sadie. That would be a big hit at an auction like that. She's the cutest thing, man. Remember the viral video earlier this year?
San Diego.
In San Diego, when Eric was first called up about the home run. She's great. Look at her holding up the bag. She knows how to play that camera, too. And Casey, Eric's wife, she was a terrific ball player in her day at Arizona State. She was a shortstop. So that baseball runs through their blood, and it's great to see the wives supporting this relief effort. The tragedy in Houston, this hurricane, and there's going to be so much unveiled here. The damages are going to be astronomical, and I'll tell you, the relief effort and the things that people are doing to help out in Houston is heartwarming, and we're glad to be a part of it with the Brewers.
Man, it's amazing how, you know, people kind of, you know, get together and help out. I mean, everybody, you know, you wonder how people are on a daily basis, but when things like this happen, people kind of rally around each other. That's good to see.
3-2 the count to Matt Carpenter, who's donating big dollars. A native Texan skies this one out to VR. And there is out number 2 for Chase Anderson. So again, you can help people affected by Hurricane Harvey as well. Just visit redcross.org. That is the relief effort that we are endorsing with the Brewers here. redcross.org. Or you can text the word Harvey, H-A-R-V-E-Y, and the text number is 90999. And by doing that, you make a $10 donation. Your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster.
Yeah.
And I got to give J.J. Watt some credit, a lot of credit. This guy, I mean, you know he has a big reach. The Milwaukee native, the Badger, now the star in the NFL with the Houston Texans. But that number that he started out as $500,000 is now over $4 million. And over $5 million, I beg your pardon. And
he wants to get to 6.
Every time I look down, it's going up. And great job by JJ. He's a big Brewers fan. I covered the NFL for a couple of years and had a chance to run across him on occasion. And he talks lovingly about Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and of course the Milwaukee Brewers. And it's really cool to see one of our own do something so great for his new home down in Houston.
Good to see players, athletes, you know, giving back. So it's all about.
Right off the end of the bat, fly ball out to shallow right. Santana's there, and Chase Anderson, he's dialed in now. Brewers have a lead, 3-2. Anderson's retired 9 in a row. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Bright sunny day on a Wednesday afternoon in Milwaukee. Cardinals, Brewers, division rivals. Ryan Braun leads off for Milwaukee. Bottom third. 3-2 crew. Brewers scoring 3 in the second. 3 runs on 4 singles for the Brewers. RBIs from Villar, Perez, and Sogard. Carlos Martinez with 4 strikeouts. 4 of his first 6 outs are via the K. Struck out all 3 last inning for his outs. There's a bouncer over to third base. Carpenter makes a play for out number 1.
And Matt Carpenter's played everywhere for the Cardinals in his career. Second base, first base, and over at third base.
Carpenter today making just his 3rd start at third base.
Doesn't seem like he has much on his throws, does it? I mean, wonder if he's got enough on the throws to, you know, play deep behind the bag.
Walker on the first pitch fouls it back.
Saw him make a play yesterday and didn't really get off a very good throw to first.
Carpenter, a native Texan. You see the inscription on his hat, Houston. He's got the heart on there.
Actually born in Galveston.
Yeah, down there in the Gulf.
That's right on the water.
Played his college ball at TCU in the Dallas area. Fort Worth. He and Adam Wainwright are combining with the Cardinals to make significant donations for the flood victims down in Houston. Astros and Rangers resume their series in St. Petersburg today. Unable to play the games at Minute Maid Park. Minute Maid Park is in good shape. It did not sustain any damage, but too much stress on law enforcement to have a game there as Walker strikes out. Law enforcement, fans of the Astros, just getting around the city is almost impossible right now. So they've moved that series to St. Petersburg. Astros are headed for the postseason. They're a runaway train in the AL West. There's Santana again, and he flies one to right, and that's a very quick inning for Martinez. The Brewers go quietly in the 3rd, 3 up, 3 down with a K. 4th inning coming. Cardinals at the bat.
To lead for the Brewers. Time now for our minor league scouting report brought to you by UW Whitewater Warhawks. take a look at the guys who've been added to the Arizona Fall League roster. Corey Ray, Lucas Erceg, Jake Gatewood, 4 prospects still to be named. They've all had great seasons. Corey Ray with the Carolina Mudcats. Lucas Erceg just continues to rake as well. Jake Gatewood had been promoted from Carolina to Biloxi. So congratulations to all of them. And again, there will be more prospects added to that Arizona Fall League roster.
It's always a cool thing to see. Thanks, Sophia. You're heading to the Phoenix area. You want to catch some of the up-and-comers. Those are really high-level games with high-level prospects. A lot of them end up in the major leagues quickly. First ball swinging, Paul DeYoung. He breaks his bat. Easy fly ball for Perez. Suddenly, Chase Anderson is in the rocking chair after a 28-pitch first inning and 2 runs allowed on a 2-run homer by Tommy Pham. Chase has retired 10 in a row. Had a 9-pitch second inning. Took him just 15 to get through the third, and he's got an out here on the first pitch of the fourth.
Well, it was all about falling behind in the count. First 2 hitters of the game fell behind. Carpenter ended up walking him. Pham hit a 3-1 pitch out of the ballpark, and since that time he's been pretty good with his command. Finding the corners with all of his pitches.
Brewers scored 3 in the bottom of the second to take the lead. Anderson pitching with that 1-run lead. Brewers have out hit the Cardinals 4-1. Only hit was that 2-run homer by Pham, which came on a 3-1 pitch. Fowler rolls over one. Right to the shortstop Sogard on the right side of the infield. 2 gone. Two quick outs. Here comes Yadier Molina. He grounded back to the mound his first time up. Little tapper and a swing and a miss. Anderson with a cut fastball. He's got them all. That's what makes Chase Anderson so good. He's got multiple pitches. He has great command of all of them. We'll throw him at any count.
And being unpredictable as to what you're going to throw at any given time, any count, any part of the ball game, which is what makes him so tough to hit. Even in fastball counts, he'll throw that cutter, he'll throw the changeup.
That's a little 2-seam fastball right by Molina. 1-2 the count. See that one dive down to the bottom of the strike zone.
Yep, goes from 88 with the cutter to 90, low 90s with the 4-seamer.
Knows exactly what he wants to do. 1-2 pitch. There's that cutter again. A rollover ground ball to Sogard. And a 7-pitch inning for Chase Anderson. Bottom of the 4th inning. Brewers are coming up. College football is back. It all starts Friday on FS1. Washington against Rutgers, and then on Saturday, Maryland takes on Texas, ranked 23rd in the country. And then on Sunday, you can check out Texas A&M as they face off with UCLA at the Rose Bowl on Fox. Maryland and Texas. Our director Renardo Lowe will be directing that game. We wish him the best of luck.
It's here, football season, right?
I got a few restaurant choices for Reload in Austin, you know.
I bet you do. How about that Mexican food place you worked at?
No, that's we ran that right into bankruptcy, Rock. It's a ground ball by Vogt over to make the play to Young, and a bad throw takes him off the bag, and Vogt is safe.
Was it your guacamole that did him in?
That's actually what kept them around longer than they should have been. It's just everything else.
You know, after we talked about that in Los Angeles, I got a bunch of things on Twitter giving me guacamole recipes.
Don't need it. That's 2 bad throws in 2 days by DeYoung.
Yeah, I mean, pretty easy play. Had a lot of time. That's certainly going to be an E6.
Second Cardinal error. I'm assuming you responded to all your massive following that you don't need a recipe.
Well, what I did say is, I mean, you can't get anything, you know, any better guacamole than what B8 produces.
That's what I wanted to hear right there.
Always backing you up.
I appreciate the encouraging words and the support. Nice.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
There's only a few things I'm actually good at. That's one of them. But that's not really a high-level skill, but something I take a lot of pride in.
I don't know. I mean,
guacamole.
It was pretty good the one time you did make it. You could make some, bring it in.
Now you can't make it too often, and then you got to have people craving it. VR at the plate with a man at first. Jonathan with an RBI his last time up. And a shot right back to the mound and through, a base hit. So VR starting to work up the middle now. That's his first hit of the game to go along with an RBI. He keeps it going.
I think Martinez thought he had that ball in his glove. He kind of threw the glove out there and looked like, where is it? Looked like he was going to get it. If he did, it was probably going to be a double play ball. And shoots it right back into center field.
VR starting to hit these ground balls back up the middle, and he's finding holes now. You got a sense there is a power streak coming with him. That's usually the order at following a slump. You get on the ball back up the middle, find a few holes, and then as the confidence goes up, swing gets a little freer, a little looser, and that's when you see some of the pop.
And they start pitching you different, because if they see that you're staying on the ball away, they're going to start coming in on you, and they make mistakes in there, and that's when you can knock them out of the ballpark.
First and second with nobody out. Brewers lead 3-2, and they are threatening here in the fourth. Perez had a key hit in that 3-run second.
Yep, on an 0-2 pitch. It's 0-2 right now. Let's see if Martinez, throws the slider again.
Martinez hung one in the second inning. Perez pulled it through the hole between short and third. If Perez doesn't get a hit in that second inning, you got the pitcher coming up next to Anderson. You're looking at probably just 1 run and a much easier conclusion to the inning. Instead, Perez delivered. Martinez had to face 3 more batters in that inning. 2 on, nobody out. The 1-2 pitch. Perez into center field, hit hard. Fowler turns and runs, can't get it. That's going to bounce off the wall. Vogt got a late start. Now he's going to try to score. The throw comes all the way in, and Vogt is out at the plate.
He was tagging up. I mean, you got to go halfway on that. And I think he was kind of fooled with Stephen Vogt as to how hard Perez hit it.
Greg Counsell wants to take a quick look at the play at the plate. It was a very aggressive send. Watch Vogt in the background.
Yeah, Vogt, he's going to go back to second base. Can't do that. That's a no-no, especially when you can't run all that well. You got to go halfway. And because he went back to second, he's an out at home.
Yeah, good tag by Molina. He's able to hang on to the baseball. It looked like he wanted to pop out of the glove. But Molina got the tag on him.
Base running mistake by the Brewers cost them. Another base hit for Perez down in the count. This time a 1-2 pitch.
Only a single after that. Sogard, or rather VR, had to hold up, not knowing if Vogt was going to stop or not. Now pickoff play at second. VR is just back.
Is that 8-2 to 4 on the put out, or 8-6 to 2? 8 to 4 to 2, or 8-6 to 2? I forget who made the throw.
I believe it was the Young 8-6-2. Not sure what's going on here. The home plate umpire Lance Barksdale is walking over to Mike Matheny.
They're looking at the play at second base. So the Cardinals are taking a look at it, see if they want to review. I guess not.
And we play on here. First and second for Anderson, 1 out. Showing bunt, pulls it back, slaps one foul. That was 8-4-2 on the putout, by the way, officially. That was Wong who made that throw. VR had to hold his ground at second base. He almost ran down Vogt. You can't just keep running in case. I'm sure VR assumed that Vogt was going to be held up. Brewers make the first out at the plate, and timeout is asked for and granted after a long pause.
The only time you tag up on a play like that is if a fielder is camped, and Fowler was anything but camped under that. I think bottom line is Vogt was fooled by how hard it was hit, and that's what cost him the run.
Another pickoff play, and VR is back. Anderson in an 0-1 count. The Brewer pitcher with 2 on, 1 away. Shows bunt. Runners go. Throw to third, and VR is off the bag and out. VR saying he was pushed off the bag.
That's very rarely called.
Well, the Brewers running themselves right out of an inning here.
Error, 2 hits, and there's 2 outs in the inning. He's safe here. I think he's right. I mean, Carpenter, you see the way he pushes his hand off the bag, and check it out. The force that Carpenter uses to push him off the bag. I mean, he's right.
He's still on it right there, and then Carpenter pushes him off the bag.
Right.
I think he's got a beef here.
Yeah, he does, but it's very rarely, if ever, called. I mean, you never see it called. The momentum certainly did not take him off the bag. The fact that Carpenter pushed his hand off the bag is why he's out.
Somebody get Ken Herbeck on the phone.
He's got the bag, and then look at Carpenter's pushing him off the bag. I mean, that's a terrible call. But again, it hardly is ever called.
And not reviewable. Carpenter just mouthed over to Ed Cedar that he came out, or to the umpire, I should say, and said he came off the bag first, which he did not.
No, he didn't.
So now Anderson's up there with a runner at second and 2 outs.
So not only did he push his hand off, he's lying to Eddie. I mean, what's worse?
Actually, he was talking to the third base umpire, Trip Gibson. I thought he was talking to Ed Cedar, but he was actually.
You can lie to the umpire. That's okay.
And a strikeout to end the inning. Oh man, the Brewers, an error and 2 hits, 2 outs on the bases. They come up empty. Let an inning go by. Big opportunity for the Crew. They come up with nothing. still 3-2 Milwaukee. Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. And by Chevy, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com today to find a dealer near you. Well, the Brewers let a potential big inning escape. 2 outs on the bases, including that overslide of third by Jonathan VR. Looked like he was pushed off to me. 3-2 the score. We go to the 5th inning. The Cardinals are coming up. Chase Anderson is pitching well. He has retired 12 in a row, coming off a 7-pitch 4th inning. And he'll have Colton Wong lead off. Wong, Voit, Grichuk, 6, 7, and 8 in the St. Louis batting order. Colton Wong had a 10-game hit streak snapped last night. One of the few Cardinals that did not contribute offensively. Into left field, hit pretty well, but Braun at the track with room. He's got it for the out.
And had some carry on it. Wow, sounded like it was just a routine fly. Took Braun all the way up to against the wall.
1 away. 13 in a row for Chase. And here comes Luke Voit. Voit was signed as a catcher by the Cardinals. No longer wearing the tools of brilliance these days. Cardinals have a pretty good catcher.
Just signed a long-term deal, right?
Yeah, he did. Yadier Molina.
Not going anywhere.
3-year deal. Voit playing first base and getting a chance now with Jed Jerko on the disabled list. That moves Carpenter over to third. And Matheny likes Voigt's bat in the lineup. He used to have a big leg kick and hit a lot of home runs in the minor leagues. He got to the big leagues, though, and starting to get eaten up at the higher levels of the minor leagues and in the majors with the velocity. So he's calmed down that big kick he has. It's more of a slide step, I guess you will, if for a hitter.
Yeah, less movement, and you get a little bit quicker with the hands. Sometimes you can get away with that in the minor leagues, a little bit extra movement, moving the hands around, the leg kick and things like that, but everything has to work pretty well at this level because pitchers can exploit a weakness big time.
1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Anderson strikes him out. Got him with a changeup. And for Chase, that strikeout number 5.
That's what you love about Chase Anderson and that changeup. He will throw it to right-handers. A lot of guys, you know, throw them, a lot of them to lefties, but more the breaking pitches. But Chase He knows when he has it working, he can get lefties and righties.
Two outs in the inning. Here's Grichuk now. On the first pitch, a pop up. Going to be close. Thames will give it a look. That'll be in the seats. Oh, he's got the Cardinals swinging, does Chase Anderson. Pouring in the strikes now. Anderson has retired 14 in a row. Gave up a leadoff walk in the first inning, then a 2-run homer to Tommy Pham. Nothing since. And the Brewers covered it by scoring 3 in the second. Randall Grichuk hitting in the 8th spot in the Cardinal lineup again. Anderson struck him out looking in the second inning. Missed with a changeup that time. 3-1. Got the pitcher coming up next.
And not a bad hitting pitcher at that. Carlos Martinez. He takes a pretty good hack up there, so a little more concentration to get him out.
How about a changeup on 3-1? Grichuk fouls it away.
Doubled up on it. Threw it 3-1.
That's the ability to get back at a count for Anderson. That's what has made him so good. That's what aces do. They're never out of a count, even if it's 3-0 or 3-1. Vogt wants a fastball. 3-2 comes, and Grichuk sends it deep to right center. And this game is tied. Didn't fool him that time. Grichuk was ready for the heat. And after the Brewers make 2 outs on the base paths in the bottom of the 4th, the Cardinals come right back. A 2-out, 2-strike solo homer by Grichuk to tie this game.
He's got big power. Yeah, you hate to see that. 2 outs, nobody on. You fall behind Grichuk with the pitcher on deck. That was right down the middle, center cut. Knocks it out of here to right field.
And Martinez on the first pitch fouls it away. Drops a big curveball in for strike 2. On the ground to Sogard. And the inning is over. Anderson has his streak of 14 in a row snapped. Home run by Grichuk. We're all tied at 3.
fifth inning at Miller Park. Our showstopper tonight, congratulations in order to Red Sox ace Chris Sale, who just continues to dominate with this season. He becomes the fastest pitcher in league history to 1,500 career strikeouts. It was a 3-0 game for him. He got Kevin Pillar on his signature slider, and it's just been such an impressive season for Sale. A 15-6 record, a 2.77 earned run average. He has 17 double-digit strikeout games on the season. So you see here, this is the LES list. Kerry Wood had previously been the fastest to do it in 1,303 innings, and that's a pretty impressive list of pitchers. Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, Max Scherzer all did it in more than 1,300 innings, but Chris Sale, the fastest, 1,290 innings. Just what an incredible season for him.
He has been a horse for the first place Boston Red Sox for sure. Thank you, Sophia. Randall Grichuk with a home run to tie the game at 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th now. Top of the Brewers order coming up. Sogard, Thames, and Braun will start it against Carlos Martinez. Sogard with an RBI single in the 2nd. That was a 2-out hit by Sogard. And a spinner in there for a strike. Cardinals will continue with their road trip. They are headed to San Francisco after the game today. Sogard pulls one, but right to Wong for the first out of the inning. Sounded like it was off the end of the bat.
Yeah, it was a changeup. Pretty good one at that, down and away. Sogard able to line it, but didn't have a whole lot on it.
One away for Eric Thames here in the 5th. Last night, Brewers were being shut out early until Thames did this opposite field bomb into the Brewer bullpen, his 28th of the year.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes Luke Weaver made until his final inning. He was tough last night. Yeah, the fastball changeup, just like we're seeing today, but Carlos Martinez throwing a lot of sliders today. There's a changeup.
17 of Thames' 28 homers have been solo shots. And he's up there with nobody on. Martinez has 2 punch-outs on Thames so far today. Got him with that very pitch in the 1st inning. A backwards K in the 1st. Went down swinging in the 2nd. 2-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. Martinez, best fastball of the day, struck out Thames in the 2nd inning. Threw it 100 miles an hour up in the strike zone. And the payoff is fouled away. The arsenal of Carlos Martinez, it's almost shocking he ever gives up hits. When he's got it going, he can get you in a lot of between moments at the plate.
Yeah, he works quickly, and a lot of times he will make mistakes. He's made a few of them today. Hanging sliders will leave a fastball down the middle. But very rarely, if ever, at least what we've seen, he hadn't made too many mistakes with his changeup. That changeup has been a good pitch for him against Milwaukee.
He doesn't shake off Molina much. Pretty much what Yadier puts down, he goes with. 3-2 is swung on and missed. Big fastball got him again. 98 with the heat this time. Thames has struck out 3 times.
Hey, for just $29.99, you can guarantee your spot at Miller Park for every game down the stretch. The September ballpark pass is on sale now and includes a ticket for all 13 Brewers home games in the month of September. Sign up today at brewers.com/ballparkpass.
2 up, 2 down. Here comes Braun now. Braun in the throes of one of the worst slumps of his career right now. He is 4 for his last 37 at the plate. 1 for his last 19 at the plate. That hit came yesterday. Had been 0 for 15 before the single yesterday.
So it makes that 2 out of 3 series for the Brewers against Los Angeles that much more impressive. The fact that Braun did not get a base hit.
Yeah, he and Thames were hitless. That's a liner. That's fair. Down into the corner it goes. Extra bases for Ryan Braun into second base with a double. That's what he needed. A 2-out double for Braun, and the Brewers put a man in scoring position.
Yeah, base hit last night to right field. He also lined out to short last night, and now a double down the line. 21st of the year for Braun. And he hits him like a left-handed pull hitter. Not a lot of slice on him. The way he goes after it, down and through. Does a real good job waiting back on it and just hits a bullet down the line.
That is vintage Ryan Braun. That's a good swing for him to have. Maybe that'll get him jump started. The Brewers need that bat. Here's Neil Walker now with 2 outs. Martinez has struck out Walker twice, both looking. Braun with good speed at second base. Walker takes a ball. Walker came into play today as a Brewer, hitting .341, playing in his 14th game in the Brewer blue, coming from the Mets. Tied him up. Big fastball that time. 1-2 the count on Walker. In 13 games, Walker has 6 RBIs for the Brewers. Got a chance to deliver one right here and put the Brewers back on top.
And Walker's got 2 career home runs against Martinez. Looks a little uncomfortable against him tonight, or I should say today.
Ball and 2 strikes. Fouls it away. Another fastball. Walker rolls over one, little grounder to first, and that will retire the side. Braun with a double. Brewers strand him at second, and we're headed to the 6th inning. 3-3 game.
Well, we've been talking all year about how Chase Anderson is able to throw anything at any time. I mean, the fastball on the corners, both inside and outside, getting outs on both sides of the plate. The curveball tremendous. Hadn't made a mistake with the curveball or the changeup. Both the home runs he's allowed. Mistakes with the fastball. One to Tommy Pham on a 3-1 pitch and a 3-2 count to Grichuk right down the middle. But everything else outstanding. The changeup has been very good for him in each of his 3 starts since coming off the disabled list.
Well, Anderson back to work. We go to the 6th inning now. Top of the order coming up. 3rd time through the batting order. Matt Carpenter will lead off. He walked and scored in the 1st. He was on when Pham went deep. Cardinals have 2 hits. They have both produced runs. All 3 of the runs, as a matter of fact. Pham a 2-run homer. Randall Grichuk a solo shot last inning to tie the game. And Anderson drops a curveball a little outside. 1-1 the count. Carpenter has a very good eye. Great plate discipline. 2nd in the National League in walks behind Joey Votto. His walk in the 1st inning was his 87th. And he's exceptional. And then you look at Votto, who's walked 112 times this year.
Amazing, isn't it? But still able to put up big numbers offensively, well, even with all those walks.
And look at those pitches right on the edges, and yet Carpenter won't budge. And it's 3-1. He's got the count in his favor.
This is where you really got to be careful. This is the count that he hit his home run last night. A 3-1 fastball last night knocked it into the Cardinals bullpen.
And that one's right on the edge. A strike. You got a pitcher who is trying to paint and a hitter who knows where the edges are. Full count to Carpenter. Fastball, a little late. That'll head into the seats.
And the fact that Anderson has been so good with the changeup today. That's why Carpenter laid on a fastball that was literally right down the middle. I mean, crosshair, center cut. And he was late. He's not convinced he's going to get a fastball.
Chase has been very efficient today after that 1st inning. 3-2 count. Carpenter lays off ball 4. And the 2nd walk issued by Anderson, both coming to Matt Carpenter. The Brewers mini marathon is right around the corner. Volunteers are needed Saturday, September 9 at Miller Park. Volunteers will receive an official event crew t-shirt, a ticket voucher for a 2018 regular season game, and entry into the post-race tailgate party. For details, visit foxsportswisconsin.com/events. Come and be a part of it with us. Tommy Pham will step in after a leadoff walk. His 2-run home run in the 1st, his 18th of the season. Pham across the board now, 306, 18 homers, 57 RBIs. Very high OPS of 910, combining the on base and slugging. And now Vogt's on his way out. 2-0 the count. 1st inning, a 3-1 count. Pham got a fastball and did not miss.
Yeah, he's been hot. One of the Cardinals that have really been swinging the bat lately. And big power. I mean, he's not a huge guy, but he's well put together, and he's got big power, particularly when you make a mistake middle in like that.
Council's made a call to the bullpen. Anderson's pitch count in good shape, but drifting into trouble here as Pham skies one to right. Santana's running out of room. He is there with just enough. Carpenter tags and stops. Santana with a strong arm in and a big out for Chase Anderson.
Yeah, just did get away with that. A 2-0 pitch. And Pham nearly hit one out of here. Shortest part of the ballpark down there in the right field. Fastball away, puts a good swing on it, and Santana up against the wall.
So one away, and here is Paul DeYoung. Carpenter still at first. There's a strike. Another thing you love about Chase Anderson, he can work the quadrants well, which in a situation like this can help him get through an inning. He can throw those two seamers down to get a ground ball. Right off the end of the bat, a foul tip on a slow curveball by Chase.
77 miles an hour.
Well, you'd have to say Corey Knebel has taken the biggest leap by a Brewer pitcher, but Anderson is close, and he was good last year.
Yeah, started last year for Chase.
That last second half of the season, the last stretch for Chase Anderson. He and Jimmy Nelson both emerging as top of the line starters, and the Brewers have a whole bunch of talented pitchers coming, including one we're going to see on Saturday night, Brandon Woodruff. Popped him up. Santana's coming in, plenty of time to settle under it. VR is back, he'll give way, and Anderson able to get DeYoung on a fly ball to right.
Hey, today's time of the game winner, Bobber's Island Grill in Lake Delton. That's out in the Dells. You've been there, right?
Oh yeah.
If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
If we went to all the taverns we say we've been to.
Well, I know you haven't been to Bobber's, but you've been to the Dells, right?
Oh, sure.
I mean, who hasn't been to the Dells?
One of my favorite spots.
Right. I remember you bragging about your miniature golf exploits up there.
Man, nobody can ride that slide like me either.
Right.
Gravity really takes over.
A
Well,
lot easier than surfing, right?
oh man, is it ever?
A little bit late in the game for you to take up surfing.
Well, I won't be taking it up. I learned that quickly. Fowler, a swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. Yes, I had a bucket list situation in Southern California over the weekend. I wanted to take a surfing lesson. I've never done it. Thought it might be something I might want to try, and that ended fast within the first 30 seconds. Curveball, a swing and a miss. Fowler down 1-2 now.
I think it was a success because you're still able to walk.
Right.
So
that's because I didn't get macho. Didn't get Song Namja on it.
Yeah.
Like I would have 10 years ago. See what he has in mind. 1-2 the count. And he didn't get him to bite. Tried that curveball again. Pretty soon the inflammation in my shoulder is going to go down as well, and I might be able to give fantasy camp another run.
Nice.
It's not going to be this year, though.
Got a spot for you.
Hey, I'm going to need more recovery time than that. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Change up that time, and Anderson works around a leadoff walk. He's pitching well. Brewers and Cardinals all tied up. Signature pitch for Chase Anderson. The straight change.
Break brought to you by T-Mobile. Some good news for the Dodgers on the health front. Cody Bellinger expected to be activated tonight against the Diamondbacks. He's been out with an ankle sprain, and the impressive stats, the Dodgers are 76-21 in games that Cody Bellinger starts, and they are 15-18 without him. So that's a terrific impact. And Clayton Kershaw will rejoin the rotation. He'll make the start on Friday. It'll be his first since July 24th as he's dealt with a back injury. And for the Nationals, they joined the Dodgers with 80 wins on the season with an 8-3 win against the Marlins. And we'll see the Nationals here at Miller Park here coming up tomorrow.
All right, Sophia, thank you. Nationals coming in, former Brewer pitching coach Mike Maddox and his Washington Nationals. Dusty Baker, the skipper. Very good team they have, the Nats. Looking forward to seeing them. Santana leads off. We're all tied at 3, bottom of the 6th inning. Both Martinez and Anderson bending a little. 3-run second inning for the Brewers against Martinez. Anderson's given up 2 home runs representing 3 runs. Pham and Grichuk have gone deep. Brewers had some key hits in that second inning. Santana was part of it. Had a 1-out single to get the inning started. There were 4 singles in that inning, as a matter of fact, and a costly error. Foul ball off the mask of Molina, and he's like, hey man, don't you ever do that again. He's just kidding around, sort of. Had a stranglehold on the Gold Glove Award until last season, won by Buster Posey. Santana flicks one to right. That's got some carry. That is way back, and it's gone. Domingo Santana puts the Brewers on top.
Amazing opposite field power, isn't it, for Domingo Santana? Doesn't hardly sometimes look like he's even swinging. First home run for the Crew today.
After a string of singles in this game, the Brewers get a double from Braun last inning, and now a home run to put them on top.
Amazing Santana's home run success in day games this year. He's got a ton. I think it's 12 home runs in the daytime, day games. Far fewer day games than night games, and he hits another one, this time to the opposite field.
22 home runs for Santana. 66 RBIs now, a career year. 12 of his home runs have come to right field. That short porch in right at Miller Park is tailor-made for that swing. I've heard pitchers talk about Santana. They feel like their pitch is by him, that they've beaten him with their fastball, and he's got that quick swing that was right between the legs of Carpenter. Stephen Vogt is on. Carpenter didn't even get a glove on it. That'll be an E5.
Didn't get the glove down. The tailgate wasn't down, and that one into left field. Vogt hits this one right on the money. Right through the wickets and into left field. That's a bad error by Carpenter.
Normally very short-handed, but he's a little out of his element at third base. He's a good first baseman. That's where home is this point of his career. But with Jerko out, Matheny needs his bat in the lineup over at third. Now VR at the plate. Big swing and a miss. Jonathan cutting it loose. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. VR has a base hit, singled in the 4th inning, drove in a run on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Both of the batted balls he's had have been right back up the middle. The first one Martinez gloved, the second one he did not.
Yeah, that home run for Santana, that's his 12th home run in 47 day games this year. He's got 10 home runs in night games. That's in 79 games. And he likes Sundays, right?
He is Domingo after all.
cut fastball. Watch the way he stays back and almost seeming like he picks that ball right out of Molina's glove. It's not quite that way, but when you look at it at full speed behind the pitcher, it certainly appears that he does a lot of that. Very quick hands.
2 hits today for Santana. That ball's hit hard left field. VR sending fan back, and it is gone.
You called it.
A 2-run home run for Jonathan VR. Number 10.
You predicted a power surge, did you not?
Boy, you know he loved to see that. He's been waiting, and to go to the opposite field in a spot like this. 6-3 Milwaukee. VR with number 10.
Wow, what a nice addition it would be to get VR swinging a bat again. And he's starting. 2 hits yesterday, 2 hits today, a 2-run homer. And the Brewers with a 3 spot. They're second of the game, but still nobody out in this 6th inning.
First home run for VR since August 11th. Hernan Perez now. 6 runs, 9 hits on the board. It had that sound off the bat.
He did a nice job waiting back. That was a pitch, you know, down the middle of the plate. It was around the knees.
Slow roll to third base. Carpenter lobs it over to first. Perez is out. That is the first out of the inning. VR's home run, as I mentioned, number 10. That means the Brewers now have 10 players with 10 or more homers.
Yep. And Pena next on the list, right? He's got 9.
Pitcher spot coming up. 6-3 lead. Council is going to take Anderson out. Orlando Arcia will pinch hit, likely to stay in the game at short.
Well, the struggles for Carlos Martinez this year at Miller Park continue. 0-2 coming in, earned run average over 7. He's given up 6 today. 4 of them earned.
Slings one in on Arcia. A ball low. Check out this reaction by Martinez. Put it in a good spot, but VR went down and got it. And now Arcia into right field. Grichuk back near the track. He's got it for the out.
And that was really a decent pitch. I mean, it was down, but it was over the middle of the plate. But VR waiting back, didn't try and pull it. Shot it out of here.
Well, you go back to his last few at-bats, though, right? Staying on the ball, driving the ball up the middle. They're ground balls that were finding holes, but the swing was, timing might not have been there perfectly, but the swing was good.
Yeah, and he hit the ball hard all 3 times last night.
Here's Sogard now. And he drops a bunt down. It's a beauty. Carpenter bare hands throws. Sogard is safe.
Well, the Cardinals are probably going to take a look at it. I'll tell you, Carpenter really not throwing the ball all that well. I mean, I haven't really noticed it, throughout the year because he's been playing first base. A very good bunt, but really not a whole lot on the throw. And Sogard beats it for the time being, and I think that Mike Matheny's satisfied that the call's correct, and that's probably going to be it for Carlos Martinez.
Yeah, here comes Matheny. He is going to take his starter out, his all-star starting pitcher, Carlos Martinez, giving up 6 runs at this point. Still a runner at first, his responsibility. Brewers come alive offensively. 2 3-run innings and looking for more in the 6th. Pitching change coming. We'll set up the new lefty when we come back.
couple of home runs. Hey, MLB.TV, every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
A lot of day games today in Major League Baseball we're tracking. And of course tonight the Cubs and the Pirates from Wrigley Field. That's Nova against Jose Quintana. Ryan Sheriff is the new pitcher. We saw him last night. Left-hander just up from AAA. And he'll face Eric Thames with 2 men out in this 6th inning.
Yeah, scoreless 9th inning last night. He finished the game. Got called up last Wednesday from AAA. Cardinals have 4 left-handers in their bullpen.
Thames has struck out 3 times today. Martinez had his number. I'm sure it didn't bother Thames that Matheny pulled Martinez. Probably would rather face a left-hander than Carlos Martinez at this point. Shift is on for Thames. He takes a ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Eric. Brewers have 3 runs in. Home run by Santana. 2-run shot by VR. He's got the look of a sheriff.
I particularly like the sheriff's badge on his glove. No need for his name on the glove when you have the sheriff's badge right there on the strap. There it is.
That's tight. Maybe for Players Weekend next year, players can determine their symbols instead of nicknames. That's a strike on the edge.
I think Players Weekend was well received. A lot of fun, wasn't it?
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I did too.
Got to see some of the personality of the players, tell some of the backstories on the nicknames and the fact that they're writing in influential people. There goes the runner. Thames sends one into right field. And a fly ball to Grichuk for the out to end the inning. But the Brewers do what they do best. Santana launches number 22. That put the Brewers on top. And then a 2-run shot by VR gave him a little insurance. And another trip down Bernie Slide, brought to you by Quick Trip. St. Louis Cardinals, Brewers with 2 home runs, part of a 3-run inning. Now they turn it over to their bullpen and rock in the month of August. Second best ERA in the majors, a 2.28 earned run average. And the Brewers have been getting major contributions from Hader and Swarzak in the 8th inning. Knebel continuing his all-star form in the 9th. But as a group, this bullpen is playoff tested, it would seem.
Yeah, no kidding. And it all starts with your closer. Corey Knebel has been able to lock down the end of the game. And Craig Counsell has done a real good job using Hader and particularly, you know, Oliver Drake in situations where they can succeed. And the pickup of Anthony Swarzak certainly helped a lot.
Only the Dodgers with a better ERA in the month of August. Dodger bullpen. Arcia stays in to play short. Sogard is out. Eric 2 for 4 today with an RBI. Good day at the plate for Eric Sogard. Molina leads off, then Colton Wong, and then Voit. And Hader zips one in, a fastball strike, 2-1 to count. Another one. Molina tracks it all the way in. Strike 2. 2-2 now.
That's the thing that's made Hader so good. The fact that he's been able to throw strikes and most of the time working ahead. Fastball's been very good. Slider a bit inconsistent. That one didn't miss by much.
At 97 miles an hour. And he lost him. Hader walks Molina, who did not take the bat off his shoulder in that at bat.
Yeah, the Brewers open up a big 4-game set against the Nationals. That's coming up this weekend. And it'll run through tomorrow night through Sunday afternoon. Tickets are still available at Brewers.com.
4-game series with the Nats. Washington is home today. They're actually underway. There's a jam shot, little roller, got to hurry. Arcia to second for the force.
Wow, Molina, where was he? I don't think they get Wong.
I think you're right. That might be the only out available. Wong's about as fast as there is. Molina is about as slow as there is, and he was not all that inspired here.
Well, look at the lead. I mean, he's not even running. I mean, it's just conceding it out at second base. I mean, with a lead like that, I mean, I don't know how you expect to, you know, I don't know. Guy's been a terrific player, but he had what, about a 3-foot lead?
Let's say never got out of second gear right there. Arcia was hustling it over to second, thinking he needed to quicken that pace.
And I didn't think they were going to have a play. The ball was hit so softly. It was a jam shot. Turned out to be an easy out at second.
So 1 away for Luke Voit. He's 0 for 2 today. Final line on Chase Anderson. He goes 6 innings, 3 runs all earned, only gave up 2 hits.
It's part of that lead that you see players take or not. And Molina's not the only guy that we've seen not taking, you know, much of a lead. I mean, the guys that don't run typically don't get big leads, but I mean, how can you expect to beat a ball? Not that he would have. He wouldn't have. And you get that decent lead, a secondary lead, and not be flat-footed. You might be able to beat a play at second.
Well, remember, Molina was a late scratch yesterday with abdominal soreness.
Right.
So he's in the game today. We didn't expect to see him today. He's not 100%. 1-2 the count on Voit. Hader keeps that fastball in on the hands of right-handers very well. He powers that thing in there, and he breaks a lot of bats. Took something off, a little changeup by Hader, and a strikeout of Voit.
Yeah, boy, if he starts throwing that consistently, that's lookout time. That was a changeup, and he hadn't thrown too many of those, but boy, he picked a pretty good spot to throw it. Pretty much of a straight change, 83 miles an hour off of a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Man, that's unhittable. I mean, when you're throwing that hard, I mean, and you put it in that spot. I mean, he doesn't throw many, but he's still able to put it down and away and get void on the swing and miss. He's just getting more and more confidence out there on the mound every time he steps on there.
It's just a circle change, a straight up circle change. He's really been a 2-pitch pitcher out of the bullpen, but he's been tinkering with a little splitter and has this changeup that he used as a starter. I think he just dropped another one in there. And you gave me a look. Same idea, but man, this guy's eye-opening right here.
Yeah.
He's got ace material.
He's got moxie out there in the mound. A lot of confidence in his ability. He's not afraid to throw strikes. He knows he's got good stuff.
And a fastball called strike 3. 95-mile-an-hour heat. And Hader continues with the eye-popping stuff. Park hit a couple of home runs in the game today and have a lead going into the bottom of the 7th inning. Tuivailala is on the mound for St. Louis. 28th appearance of the year. He will match up against Braun, Walker, and Santana. Well, Carlos Martinez, Rock, again struggling at Miller Park today, giving up 6 runs, 3 earned. He was dominant in his first 6 games as a starter, but the last 3 the Brewers have had his number.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he's had the Brewers number throughout his career, as you mentioned. A earned run average 199 coming in. That's combined between Milwaukee and St. Louis, but this year really has struggled. And the Brewers have taken advantage of some mistakes that he's made today.
Ryan Braun will lead off for the Brew Crew. He doubled his last time up. Braun takes a fastball strike. Ryan with 13 home runs on the year. Power numbers are down for Braun. OPS at 834 right now. I mentioned he's been in a long slump at the plate. Maybe starting to come out of that, though. Had a double his last time up. Good piece of hitting. Brewers have set a franchise record for the most players with 10 or more home runs. It had been 9. It is 10 now that VR is homered. Brewers are tied with the Mets as the only team in the National League to have at least 9 players with 10 homers. And we still have over a month of baseball to play.
And you got one more guy that might get on that list. Manny Piña's got 9 homers.
Braun chops one, third base, long throw. Carpenter comes up short. Nice pick by Voit. Saves Carpenter another error, and Braun is out. Carpenter is having a hard time getting across the diamond.
Yeah, I mean, just doesn't have anything on the throws, and this is the throw that gives him a problem. Gets rid of it quickly, but that's a heck of a pick by Voit over there. Doing the old Cecil Cooper over at first base, doing the splits.
Wow.
A nice play. Tough pick in between hop and able to keep his foot on the bag.
So one away. Here's Walker now.
By the way, I texted with Cecil today.
Oh, is that right?
He lives in Houston. I was asking how he's doing.
Yeah.
He's doing fine. He's asked everybody to pray for everybody in Houston. Things are bad down there. Of course, we know that, but Cecil's doing all right.
That's good to know. Former Astros manager Cecil Cooper.
And Brewers legend.
Made his home there in Houston. He's from that area. Brenham, Texas is Cecil's hometown. That's down about 45 minutes to an hour away from Houston. Brenham is where they make the famous Bluebell ice cream in Texas. So they got that going for him. But I'm glad to hear he's doing well. Walker takes a ball high.
Cecil spends a lot of time in the area in Chicago. He's got kids in Chicago. He's got grandkids. Fantasy camp coach. Wish him well.
That's the beauty of fantasy camp. You can be coached by a former major league manager and legendary player. Walker strikes out. 2 outs. How is fantasy camp coming along these days, Martin?
We're doing well. We've got a few spots left. The 2008 fantasy camp reunion. As we speak, 414-321-8605 to get your registrations in. We're going to be cutting it off. So we got Cecil Cooper, Jason Kendall. We got Eddie Cedars coming, who's worth the price of admission. Ben Sheets.
Prince Fielder.
Billy Hall. Yep. Prince.
Corey Hart.
Corey.
Rumor was J.J. Hardy was going to make an appearance.
Yeah, he's going to stop by. Yep, he's going to stop by for a day. He's not going to be there the whole week. He's got other stuff going on. But he's going to stop by. It's going to be fun.
Sounds like it. Santana flicks one to right, and it's going to be caught. Grichuk lays out, takes a hit away from Santana, who is making a bet at his 3rd hit of the game. Instead, Tuivailala with a 3-up, 3-down inning. We go to the 8th. Brewers by 3.
Milestone for Brandon Phillips, longtime All-Star second baseman with the Reds, now with the Braves, recorded his 2000th career hit in the first inning this afternoon, an RBI single to right that extends his hitting streak as well to 14 games. And Phillips actually becomes the 12th active player to 2,000 hits and the third to do it this season. His teammate Nick Markakis did it earlier this year, along with Adrian Gonzalez for the Dodgers. So congratulations in order to Brandon Phillips, 2,000 career hits.
Great milestone for a guy that many felt wouldn't be in the big leagues more than a couple of years. Matter of fact, during Players Weekend, one of the names that he wrote on the patch, he put his family and some coaches, and then the last one on there, haters. The haters, not as in Josh Hader, but the haters, H-A-T-E-R-S, that helped push him to the level that he has achieved right now. Tremendous accomplishment for that dude, BP.
Yeah, he's something. Great defender, always has a smile on his face, and good for him.
Jose Martinez will lead off for St. Louis. Hitting for Tuivailala. Hader continues in the game. The Brewers Hader, who has no haters right now except the opposition. We've seen a few changeups today from Josh Hader.
Yeah, for strikes. I mean, he's thrown changeups before, but he got a strikeout on one and then threw one for a strike.
2-0 is the count to Martinez. And a fastball strike in there, 2-1. Got a left-hander due next in Carpenter. That would probably signal the end for Hader. Two and one, and a swing and a foul. Although if Hader can get you through the 8th inning, might do that if he's efficient, retiring Martinez and Carpenter. That would set you up for Knebel if you're still in a safe situation. We'll see how Counsell plays it, but you know he wants Hader to face Carpenter, which is why he continues. 2-2 the count, and a fastball missed.
Well, you've got Swarzak getting loose in that bullpen. They're not going to get him up if they're not going to use him, that's for sure. You're probably going to see a pitching change after Carpenter's at bat.
In the air to center field, sounded like it was jam shot, and that's going to fall in front of Perez, who got a late break. He plays deep anyway, and Martinez is on with a single to center field. It sounded like it was right off the label.
Yeah, it was, and that's what froze Perez. I mean, little inexperience out there, and your first move when you're not used to playing out there is going to be back or just kind of freeze. It takes him a while to get going, and that one falls in front.
So a base hit. Yeah, Hader saying, where's my center fielder right there? Well, here comes Matt Carpenter. Carpenter against lefties this season, hitting .208. Overall batting average .244. And he's 2-0 now on Carpenter. Vote on his way out. Cardinals are on their way to San Francisco after this game. The Brewers will welcome in the Washington Nationals. Gio Gonzalez and Zach Davies. Brewers will have Davies, Nelson, Woodruff Saturday, and then Garza on Sunday.
How good has Zach Davies been? Can't pitch much better than he has.
He and Nelson rolling along. Both had terrific starts in Los Angeles. 2-0 the count. And a strike on the corner. What was that rock? 88 miles an hour on a 2-0 pitch.
Looked like a fastball to me.
Little get over fastball.
Yeah, I think so.
Cruising speed fastball.
Little dead fish.
Well, he needed a strike and he got one. Now he's behind Carpenter. It's a tricky spot right here. Carpenter doesn't chase often, and you've got some power coming up. Another base runner, and the Cardinals are going to bring the tying run to the plate.
And they got two right-handers coming up, then the switch hitter Fowler. You don't want to walk the tying run to the plate.
3-1. That's a strike. High strike. Carpenter is employing the Yadier Molina method here, just taking every pitch, forcing Hader to throw strikes. Does he have one more in him? Full count. Long pause. Runner goes, and a ground ball, diving stop VR, and Carpenter is out. Heck of a play by Jonathan.
Yes, sir. That's a beauty. That Carpenter hit that one right on the nose. 3-2 pitch. Got the out. Good for Hader coming back throwing strikes. Took his time, knew he had the out.
And with a runner at second. Hader with 4 outs. He is going to have a pitching change here. Counsell is going to make a double switch. Broxton's coming in to play center field. Looks like Perez is going to go over to first base. All right, so all the moves Counsell can make here. We're going to have a pitching change, tighten up the defense. 6-3 ball game. Runner at second. Another good outing for Hader. In comes Anthony Swarzak. Performance gives the Brewers 4 outs across the 7th and the 8th, retiring Matt Carpenter in this 8th inning. And so with one away in the 8th inning and a runner at second base, in comes the setup man, Anthony Swarzak.
Yeah, 55th appearance between the White Sox and the Brewers. Good numbers, a 225 earned run average for Swarzak. We last saw him on Sunday against the Dodgers. 2/3 scoreless, stranded an inherited runner in the 7th inning.
Brewers making changes, a double switch for Craig Counsell. Broxton comes in, put him in the 9th spot in the batting order. He'll hit 4th in the 8th inning. Perez goes from center field to third base. Neil Walker is out. And the batter is Tommy Pham with a runner at second. Brewers are about as good as they can be defensively. With Perez at third base. You think about Perez, Arcia, and VR, third, short, and second. They're all shortstopped by trade, all in the infield together now, with Thames over at first. Oh, good breaking ball by Swarzak. Nasty slider.
Yeah, got to be careful with a fastball with this guy. We've seen it these first 2 games in this series. He's on the fastball, but Yeah, well-located slider should get the job done.
1 ball, 1 strike. In the air, right center. That ball's hit well. And Tommy Pham has done it again. 2-run home run for Pham. And it's a 1-run game now.
Well, he left the slider up in the zone, and Pham knocks it out of here. This time to right field. A couple of 2-run home runs by Pham today. That's a slider. It's up, out over the plate. That's not where you want to leave it, and Pham drives it out of here. Did a good job waiting back on it. Knocked it into the Cardinals bullpen.
What a player he is. Cardinals have found something with Tommy Pham. Swarzak gives up a 2-run homer. Now the screws have tightened up here. 6-5 Brewers. All of the runs for the Cardinals coming on the long ball. And here's Paul DeYoung. It's a fastball strike. Pham with a multi-homer game, the 6th of his career, the 3rd of the season. 2-run homer in the 1st, 2-run homer here in the 8th.
That's the slider he wanted right there. Yep. It's all about location. Pham red hot. You make a mistake to him, you can see what happens.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Check it, 1 out. And DeYoung doesn't bite on that one. One of those runs will belong to Hader. Hader's hardly given up runs so far this season. That is only his 5th earned run allowed. Today Hader made his 23rd appearance. There's a call, strike 3. Swarzak with a punch out, went with a fastball. And DeYoung is retired. 2 gone in the inning.
I put it right on the outside corner at the knees. Might have got the benefit of a call. We haven't seen that called all that often. 96. Can't walk it across better than that.
You got a dangerous hitter coming up. Dexter Fowler, the Cardinal cleanup man, who's been hot lately. He's got some pop as well. 15 homers this year. And he's had a couple of stints on the disabled list. Fowler only playing in his 100th game of the season.
Man, crazy game, huh? 4 hits for the Cardinals. 3 of them homers.
Yeah, 5 runs on those 4 hits. Meanwhile, the Brewers have 6 runs on 10 hits. Two and 0 to Fowler. Swing and a miss. Fastball ate him up. Broken bat. Over is Arcia. Bare hands, throws, and it's in time. Oh, Orlando does it again. He makes it look easy. It is not. Shift was on, ranging over to his right, and Arcia with a bare hand pickup and a play to first. Wow.
Let's see if he keeps the foot on the bag. Looks like he did.
Cardinals are taking a quick look at it. And Orlando Arcia, this is
an
brilliant.
amazing play. Yep. Cardinals satisfied, foot on the bag.
And the inning is over. Cardinals get a pair. They get a 2-run homer from Pham. Swarzak able to put the blanket on it. Arcia caps it off.
this game, but a late inning defensive replacement doing a really nice job as he retires Fowler to end the top of the 8th. Brewers clinging now to a 1-run lead. You can talk about Chase Anderson. You can talk about some timely hitting in this one, some power. Good mix of things so far as the Brewers have the lead.
And that's just what they had to have against a pitcher like Carlos Martinez. You got to go out and you got to play that good quality baseball game. Tonight hits, really 10 hits in the 6 runs. But I'll tell you what, Anderson really sets the stage with his good outing.
All right, we're getting set for Brewers Live, presented by Ascension. Coming up after the ball game, we're going to hear from Craig Counsell and hopefully Chase Anderson as well. Sophia's got some interviews. We'll be all set for you as the Brewers go for the split.
All right, Craig and Augie, thank you. Here we go to the Brewer half of the 8th, and vote into left, playable for Pham. And there is out number 1. Well, Jonathan VR, he's made a terrific diving play at second base. And how about his 3 swings today, Rock?
Yeah, curveball right there, and you know, he drives in a run with that, but he really starts to dial in and staying on the baseball, base it up the middle. 94 on the fastball, down in the strike zone. He just waits on it, doesn't try to pull it. He's got incredible power. He just has to trust his hands. Sometimes he tries to, get out in front a little bit, and that's when he really gets in trouble. But starting to swing the bat better. He's got 4 hits in his last 2 games.
Badger Mutual Insurance plays of the game. We'll call it swings of the game for VR. Brewers would love another one right here. They could use some insurance. 6-5 game. Corey Knebel getting ready in the bullpen for a potential save situation. And Bowman with a changeup has VR out in front.
Man, numbers for Bowman. He's got that 435 earned run average. Basically sinker slider pitcher. Not a whole lot of strikeouts, but he has had some good outings against Milwaukee.
Little ground ball over to Carpenter. And VR is out. Defensive swing by VR. 2 quick outs for Bowman. And here comes Hernan Perez now. Powerball home run leaderboard. Thames hit one yesterday, number 28. Shaw had the day off from the starting lineup today. He's sitting on 27. Santana with number 22 today. That put the Brewers on top in the 6th. Haven't seen Aguilar in a few days. Matter of fact, he didn't play in the Dodgers series. Didn't play yesterday.
Yeah,
haven't seen him today.
Made 2 starts on a road trip. That was it.
Might see him get a start tomorrow. That's a bat Craig Counsell wants to keep sharp, believe me.
Well, you got the left-hander Gio Gonzalez on the mound for Washington. You might see Aguilar in the starting lineup.
He's been one of the best pinch hitters in the National League this year. There's a strike to Perez. In the 9th inning for the Cardinals, it'll be Molina, Wong, and Voit. Right now, the Brewers lead by a run. One ball, 2 strikes. Perez had an RBI single on an 0-2 pitch in the 2nd. Leans the bat on that one. Bowman will make the play, and here we go to the 9th. Stage is set. All-star closer Corey Knebel on to try to nail it down and split this series with St. Louis. other than a little nosedive from the Brewers. Having some fun here at the ballpark today. Today's telecast on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino.
Didn't the Italians take a nosedive yesterday?
Right. Nosedives all around.
Well, it is getting late in the year. They're getting tired.
6-5 game. Brewers lead. We go to the 9th inning. Corey Knebel on the mound to try to nail down his 30th save of the year. He has been about as good as there is across Major League Baseball, including the likes of Craig Kimbrell and Aroldis Chapman, who has been taken out of that closer's role. He lands the first curveball on Yadier Molina. That is always a good sign for Knebel.
Yeah, he hasn't allowed a run over his last 16 appearances and has converted each of his last 13 save opportunities. So he's been throwing the baseball well.
Molina, Wong, and Voit coming up. Another curveball misses. Knebel still only 25 years of age. He'll turn 26 in November. And a fastball foul back. 98 with the heat. 1-2 the count. Corey, a Texan from the Central Texas area. His wife's from from Victoria, Texas. They've had some flooding concerns as well in Houston. So he is doing what he can to help the cause as well. Doing a great job. It's been impressive to watch these players band together. 1-2 the count. And Molina lays off the curve. 2-2. Sunday in Los Angeles, Knebel notched the save. He threw 9 curveballs. He hit on 6 of them. 2-2. Up the middle. Arcia can't get it. Base hit. Yadier Molina always seems to find the holes when it counts, and he's got a base hit to start this 9th inning.
And you got to figure they might pinch run for him here. I mean, Molina, one of the slowest guys in all of baseball. Yep, fastball up in the zone, and Molina, does a good job getting on top of it. And out of the reach of Arcia, which is no easy task.
Molina's out. Yesterday's starter Luke Weaver will pinch run. A two-way player at Florida State. He's familiar running the bases. So the tying run is on. Now Colton Wong at the plate. That was a late request for timeout.
Second time we've seen that. And Lance Barksdale called a late timeout with Carlos Martinez on the mound earlier. But Knebel did the right thing. He slowed down a little bit but got rid of the baseball.
Well, Knebel has been in a ton of one-run save opportunities this season. He rarely has the 3-up, 3-down inning. But he's made his pitches when he's had to. Knebel right now 4th in the league in saves. There's a curveball for a strike. A dandy. 0-2 the count. Greg Holland leads the National League in saves. He's been temporarily removed from the closer's role with the Rockies. Then you got Jansen of the Dodgers, Fernando Rodney of the Diamondbacks, and then Knebel, who didn't take over till mid-May. Curveball. Vogt was popping out of there as if it was a strike.
It fooled Wong completely and just out of the zone. Little up and in.
One and two the count to Wong. Does he throw another one? Got a runner at first. And a curveball pulled foul.
And don't leave it up there. Tough guy to double up. Colton Wong.
Chase Anderson struck out Wong on a curveball in the second inning. He's got a tight spinning curveball very similar to Knebel. Anderson does not have the 98 100-mile-an-hour fastball though. The 1-2 and a fastball inside 98, just missed.
Colton Wong just hoping and praying that wasn't a strike. I mean, you can't take that pitch. Just misses the inside corner, and I think 2 times in a row Wong was waiting for the ring-up call.
2-2 now. Dangerous pitch coming. Vogt sets up away, and Wong chased one 99 miles an hour, and a strikeout for Knebel for the first out.
Went up the ladder, and Wong chases it way behind it, underneath. Good pitch by Corey. Enough of this. Up and away, 99.
It's one thing we talk about pairing pitches together, the curveball and the high fastball, which works so well together based on the plane it's on, what the hitter sees halfway to the plate. But when it's coming in at 100 or 99 miles an hour, it gives you very little time.
No, right.
Luke Voigt fouls the first pitch away. He was late.
And you have to sit on the fastball. That's why you see a lot of guys get locked down on that curveball. You can't go up there against Knebel looking curved and expect to be able to react to fastball.
Knebel and Kimbrel have been going back and forth on that strikeout list. Knebel was the first to 100. Kimbrel has been the elite of the elites for many years now. Oh, and 2 the count on Voigt. Took over the closer's role in mid-May for Neftali Feliz and has not let it go. Made his first All-Star team this year. 0-2 in there, called strike 3. Voigt not happy with that call. Matheny's giving Lance Barksdale an earful as well. 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been down and in just a little bit. Home plate umpire giving Knebel the call on strike 3. Looked like it might have been a little low, a little off the corner. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Mike Matheny not happy about it.
Take that out and run. 2 gone now. Cardinals down to their last out, but a big power hitter at the plate. Randall Grichuk. Runner at first. And a curveball misses. Grichuk hit a solo home run in the 5th inning to the opposite field. His 17th of the year. Popped him up, foul territory in the seats. Looking for save number 30, Corey Knebel. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here he comes. And Grichuk fouls it back.
Yeah, got 2 of them by him.
1-2 now. Crowd on its feet. Just shy of 29,000 on a Wednesday afternoon. One and 2. And a high fly ball center field. Broxton going back at the wall. He leaps. Oh my goodness! He caught it! He caught it! And the ball game is over.
Oh baby!
What a play! Keon Broxton with a game saver.
My. How about that? Well, Craig Counsell put him in there at the right time, didn't he? Not sure if Perez makes that catch.
That reaction by Knebel says it all. Broxton pulls one back. One of the greatest plays by an outfielder this season in Major League Baseball. A game-saving, home run-saving catch by Keon Broxton.
Boy, Grichuk, I think, thought he had a home run to give him the lead, but watch Broxton. It kind of takes a while to get back and perfectly times his leap. That would have been out of here and the game over. Well done, Keon Broxton. What a way to finish it here today.
Oh, man. Incredible.
Kind of misjudged it initially, right? Took him a while to get back there and perfectly timed leap. Corey Knebel saying, well done, my friend.
What a way to finish this game. I can't wait to hear Keon talk about this one. Let's get right to him. Sophia standing by. Go ahead, Sophia.
Thanks, B.A. Keon, you haven't stopped smiling since you ran in here, but just tell me. All right, well, Corey Knebel has him 1-2, but take me through that play. You've made so many great catches this season, but to win this one, to make that final play there at the wall, take me through kind of your thought process and how you get to the wall there.
You know, I was thinking about that the entire time. I was thinking there might be a chance here to make a great play for the team. And I'm actually just blessed that I was in a position and able to come through. I just replayed it over my head. Like, there's a ball to the wall, I'm making a play. I'm making a play out here regardless, so just happy about it.
How difficult is that to get the read on the ball and just time your jump at the right time there to make the catch?
That's just something we work on in spring training, wall balls, and that's just a play that everyone wants to make, and come up in a big situation like that, it's awesome.
Tough loss last night. To come back here, have that kind of finish, even the series here up, what does it mean to this team?
Oh, it's huge, man. We're just coming out and battling every day, doing the best that we can, and trying to make the fans happy.
All right, thanks, Keon. Craig, Keon Broxton certainly made the fans happy here. What an incredible play here to end the game.
You are not kidding, Sophia. Broxton has to be put in the pitcher stats now. He's got a save on the season, and it was a big one today. Mark your calendars, folks. This could be huge as we enter the final month of the season. The Brewers win it here 6-5. We'll hear from Craig Counsell and the crew next on the postgame show.